All right, guys. So today we're doing a redraft of the rookies, the 2020 rookies. So obviously at the beginning of after the draft, your dynasty team, you're doing a draft of the rookies, and and we're gonna
Cut
redraft.
it, cut it, cut
We're
it.
good.
Yeah, that was
Dun it! Dun it! Dun it! Dun it! Dun it! Dun dun.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Welcome to Sippin' for Sunday.
all right, guys. What's up? So we're doing the 2020 rookie class redraft, and we're actually gonna do a super flex this time. So yeah, that's what we're doing today. So we got 4 rounds. So yeah.
It's going to be a similar format to last time. We both got two teams. You can see the order on the screen. We're gonna do the same thing as last time. So Brian's going to get the sixth pick, and so on. Brian, who you got for one?
Yes, sir. All right. Obviously, super flex league. So quarterbacks are just a tad more valuable. So Justin Herbert, um, you could argue that Joe Burrow is better. I would strongly disagree, but especially with that injury, Justin Herbert, I mean, especially for fantasy, he runs a lot. He throws a beautiful deep ball. I mean, especially with his receiving core and Keenan Allen and Mike Williams for the future, Justin Herbert's got to be the pick of 101.
I
Also,
think that's a
yeah.
good pick. I think even if the talent level between those two quarterbacks is similar, or even if Joe or if Herbert's the worst quarterback of the two, I think his weapons are just way better.
Yeah.
I
Plus
really
the
want.
injury.
I really want them
I
to get
would
Kyle
disagree
Pitts.
with that. I think that the Bengals kind of have a sneaky little receiver core over there, and they're pretty good.
None
Yeah,
of them are
Jack.
Keenan. None of them are Keenan
Yeah,
Allen though.
I don't know,
T.
man.
Higgins, bro.
T.
T.
Higgins
Higgins.
is pretty good.
T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, they're pretty dang good.
Auden Tate.
Joe Burrow
Following
also throws
that,
the ball 50 times a game. So
at the 202 or the 102, I will be taking Joe Burrow because he is a very good quarterback. He's just as probably a little slightly worse than Herbert based off his injury. But yeah, like Jack said, he was throwing 50 times a game before he got hurt. So I really can't go wrong there.
Yeah. All right. So
Does
now,
Are you scared at all that he doesn't have an offensive line, or do you think they're going to take?
I'm hoping that they get the third pick and they get Panay,
Yeah,
unless the Jets take him. But the Jets have Becton, so I'm not sure.
okay. So here I'm in a very sticky situation because obviously the best running back slash wide receiver here is Jonathan Taylor, and he's going to be incredible for years to come. But it's a super flex. Quarterbacks have so much more value, so I'm gonna take Tua here. Um, he hasn't looked amazing, but it's not because of him. He's just kind of game managing right now. But for the future, that's kind of how I'm thinking. Is he is the Dolphins franchise quarterback, and that's what they drafted him to be, and he was incredible in college. So yeah, I'm taking Tua here.
Personally, I would have taken Jonathan Taylor at that spot.
me too. And that's what I'm gonna pick with.
Personally, it just because the super flex doesn't mean you have to take a quarterback. I feel like that's overvaluing Tua. He's a great
Uh,
player. He's got a high upside, but the way they're using him right now, they trust the Fitz magic more than him. So I
yeah, but
definitely wouldn't take
Fitzpatrick's a
him.
free agent.
Yeah, but
I
they've
understand,
shown
but Jonathan Taylor's going to be the running back for the next however many years he's playing. And running backs are still very valuable in fantasy, even in a super flex.
Yeah, I guess.
All right, Jack.
Oh, did you not hear me? I froze.
Uh, just say it again.
Jonathan Taylor.
Nice. Hey, I really like the part where you gave your reasoning. That was good.
I guess I froze. I was talking about it for a while.
Nice.
I think we can all agree that Jonathan Taylor has looked really good if you're just watching him play. I think a lot of his, we talked about it last podcast when he was drafted. I think a lot of his weaknesses that we were looking about and a little bit worried about when we were looking at him as a draft prospect, as a rookie, he's are actually some of his almost his strong suits now. And I think now that he's kind of getting the trust from his coaching staff, that would be the only thing that I'd be a little bit worried about. Now that he's kind of, I think we can all agree that he's kind of gained that now. I think there's like no worries about him as a prospect.
It's still like Naheem Hines, but especially like goal
Yeah.
line work and in big situations, they always go to Taylor.
See, that's the thing that's scary is they still give Hines some of the goal lines carries, which
Yep.
is
But I think it's still so like it's better for his long-term health because you're gonna get him for like even if he's 70% of the workload, he's gonna have a much longer and sustained career versus a guy like Le'Veon Bell who just fell off the face of the earth.
right. Speaking of Le'Veon Bell, I'm in between a couple of guys here.
What?
Clyde's all right, but I think I'm gonna actually go with Justin Jefferson here.
Pick.
Good
I-
pick, Tyler. That is a good pick.
It's a
I
terrible
know
pick.
I know that CeeDee Lamb might be the better prospect, but I just don't see the people kind of leaving the Dallas offense, and I think that's a situation where I think that Jefferson's going to get more opportunity as time goes on, and I think CeeDee's just going to keep on being. He might become the first option, but he's going to become the first option in like a very busy offense, which is not something I'd want. If you can get a sure
Jefferson
thing,
has some big play, explosive play. He's
I
like
think-
second in lead. He leads the league, or he's second in the league for most 20-yard plays. He's a good player.
I think
I-
Justin Jefferson's the safest pick after Jonathan Taylor and Justin Herbert in this draft. So that's why I like him there.
I think CeeDee Lamb is more talented, but
Yeah.
I think that Jefferson is in the better situation to thrive, especially with Thielen. He's going to be out pretty soon. Amari Cooper still has like 3 years left on his deal. Zeke still has 3 years left. I think CeeDee Lamb is way better, not way better, but is better. But Justin Jefferson's going to get all the volume.
And that's all that matters in fantasy, honestly, is it doesn't
Yeah.
matter how good they are. It just matters, are they going to get the volume?
Speaking of CeeDee Lamb, I'm up at the 106, and everyone knows my love for CeeDee Lamb. Now, first of all, before Dak got hurt, you can say whatever you want about Michael Gallup and Amari Cooper. He was the WR1. Like he was averaging like around
No, he
100 yards a
wasn't.
game.
No, it was still a mark.
It's Amari Cooper.
It was
No,
Amari Cooper.
next year it's
Yes,
going to be
was.
CeeDee
It was
Lamb.
Amari Cooper.
No, it wasn't.
Yes,
Hey,
yes,
I
it
know
was.
you said that, but I'm looking at the game log here, and I'm only seeing 100-yard game.
Yeah,
Huh?
100-yard game.
It was
Two.
Amari Cooper, Brian.
There's two. There's one
The
right
Giants
there, and
game
there's
when
one
he
right
got
there.
hurt.
Giants was not Amari Cooper. It was not
Okay,
Dak.
think about it this way. What are Dak's best routes? Over the middle of the field from the slot receiver, 20 yards in. CeeDee Lamb is the best. He runs those routes better than Amari Cooper. He runs out of the slot. I don't want to bring up one of the best receivers in football, but he reminds me a lot of DeAndre Hopkins. And even if he's like 90% of what DeAndre Hopkins is, that's going to be way more valuable than whatever the hell Justin Jefferson's going to be. So CeeDee Lamb's my pick.
Well, Amari Cooper had double-digit targets in all 4 games.
Yeah, just wait till next year. He's going to be a WR1 on that offense.
Okay.
A WR1?
The WR1 in that
Oh,
offense.
on that offense. Okay.
So you
yeah,
think
yeah.
next year CeeDee Lamb will be a WR1?
He's going to be like a WR2. He's more talented than Amari Cooper for sure.
So you think there's not going to be a WR1 in the Cowboys offense?
Well, I don't know what exactly he will be, but I don't see Michael Gallup there long term. So if
Right.
you're just having, and I don't see Dalton Schultz taking a big percentage of the targets. So if you just have Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb, I mean, as talented as he is, he's going to get a bunch of targets, especially with how bad that secondary is. So I don't think it really matters that Amari Cooper's there. It only helps him, in my opinion.
That's fair. I'd still rather have Justin Jefferson because I feel like he's a safer pick.
I'd rather have Jefferson too.
Yeah, but I
just
always go,
produce better.
especially with rookies, you always got to go talent. And to me, you can say whatever you want about Justin Jefferson.
But Jefferson has talent and proven that he can do. I mean, CeeDee Lamb has too.
okay,
Justin
but when
Jefferson had
Dak
an
was there, CeeDee Lamb was.
insane
But
rookie.
All in.
Jefferson was a WR1 this year, like the entire season.
Yeah,
with
if
Kirk
Dak was
Cousins.
healthy the whole year,
See, but that's
It's
like
been
an
a
if.
WR1.
He
If we
hasn't
look
done
at
it.
if we look at precedents, the last rookie receiver to go to the Pro Bowl was Amari Cooper. And Amari Cooper's pretty good at football. So I'm going to go ahead and say that Justin Jefferson's going to be pretty good at football too.
I honestly.
I mean, at this point,
to
we're
be honest,
nitpicking, but I'd still rather have Jefferson.
To be
Yeah.
honest, I don't care about the Pro Bowl at all. If he makes an All Pro, that's amazing. But Pro Bowl is a popularity contest, and just because he does a little gritty dance doesn't make him better than CeeDee Lamb.
Okay, Brian.
My pick.
Low-key tough spot, Ryan.
I'm right here between Clyde and DeAndre Swift. Clyde is in the much better situation, but they also pass a lot. Swift, the Lions are a terrible run organization, but they're probably going to get a new coach, or they will get a new coach. Did they fire their GM or no?
Yeah.
Yeah, they cleaned house.
Okay, I'm gonna take DeAndre Swift then.
He's
I just think that towards the end of the year, he was getting more volume than AP finally, and AP was probably going to be gone. Kerryon Johnson is straight garbage, and the Lions are going to need to lean on him a lot next year, especially if they don't get Golladay back. He's going to be the focal point of the offense, and who knows if Matthew Stafford's going to be there. But I think he's the only one in that offense that I can see getting touches on a week-to-week basis. Whereas Clyde, I don't know, because there's Kelsey, there's Sammy Watkins, there's Tyreek Hill.
Damian Williams could come back too.
I'm not worried about Damian Williams.
Damian Williams.
I'm just saying. He did
Here's
opt
the
out.
thing also is the Chiefs are a third down
There you go.
team. They get like most of their yards on 3rd and long. Like that's their thing.
Yep.
Hold up.
You know. Wait, if you're resuming, did it include what me and Tyler said?
I don't think so. Say it again.
All right. The thing about the Chiefs is they're a third down team, so they get most of their yards on 3rd and long. That's like their entire offense is just like short.
Did you freeze?
Yeah,
Can't
Jack,
hear.
we can't hear you.
Yeah, I'm taking Clyde. They haven't used him since the goal on the goal line since pretty much week 1 versus the Texans, and I just think Swift is gonna be there for more volume.
Is there any thoughts of Antonio Gibson at this pick, Ryan?
That's a good question. I think I wouldn't take him over Swift.
Fair enough.
Clyde, I would think about. So I guess, yeah.
So that's the position I'm in right now. Is do I want to take Gibson or Clyde? Because Clyde, Gibson looks so good before the injury. Let me look at that game log. He was the RB12 on the season too. Yeah, I think I'm gonna. Oh, this is tough. Yeah, I think I'm gonna take Gibson here. He got all the volume. McKissick is good, but he's more of a complementary piece, and we don't know their quarterback situation, which is gonna make them rely on Gibson a lot more. So,
I think Jack's going to get the 2 steals of this draft already.
you think Clyde is the?
I think Clyde at 9 is insane.
Yeah.
Well, I'm between him and Dobbins. I love Dobbins. I think he's super explosive. I think he's really good, but I am gonna have to go Clyde here.
Yeah, I don't think there's. I wouldn't even think at that spot.
What do
I
you think
mean,
about Swift over Clyde?
I get it. I understand it's the third down team. They're not gonna run the ball downhill like other teams would, especially if the Lions lose Matt Stafford. Like, I don't know what they're gonna be doing. They're probably just gonna be running the ball down people's throats. But I think Clyde is he's still a really good player, and he's on a really high-powered offense, and I think he'll probably be okay.
See, the thing with the Chiefs is like we see guys like Kareem Hunt thrive as just like the top running back, and then the following year we see Damian Williams and like a committee, Damian Williams, Darrell Williams.
But I would
Who
say that
else?
it's a committee because of circumstance.
But then why would they use?
But then
a
Clyde
committee
was
with
also a
Clyde?
committee.
Right, but he is a rookie and he was a first-round pick. So
Yeah, for me, it's
Yeah.
more of a long-term pick. Like if you take
Yeah.
Clyde in a rookie draft, you're not looking for production next year because Damian Williams will be coming back. But eventually, like I know Mahomes and Andy Reid, they love to pass right now, but you got to think about LaShawn McCoy and Kareem Hunt and Jamal Charles. Like Andy Reid is very favorable to fantasy running backs. And to me, when he takes a guy first round, there's something he sees in him, and he's not just gonna throw him away because of, a bad first year from him. It's more of a long
And
term
I
pick.
wouldn't even say it's his own. It's
Yeah.
not his fault he had a bad first year. It's just his usage was
He had a
so
pretty good
low.
year.
And
Yeah.
any team that scores
Yeah,
as many
for-
points as the Chiefs do is something that you want a piece of.
It was just weird that they didn't like just all the reports coming out of like before this season. Like this dude is going to be the best running back in football.
He is really good. I don't know if you've watched him, but he
No, I
has
have.
had
He's
games
good.
where
Yeah,
you can see
I
how good
definitely
he
would
is.
have taken
He's
him over.
really good.
Yeah, I love DeAndre Swift, and Gibson's been amazing this year, but the upside of what Clyde can bring and that high powered of an offense, I mean, I think you have to go Clyde.
I think there's 5 really good running backs.
I understand the risk of it because they are a third down team. They're not going to be running the ball.
Yeah, but it's still a high
but
powered
he's
offense.
still
It's
if
the
he's
same
still on
thing.
such a high powered offense, it doesn't matter. He's going to get touches.
He's gonna
He'll
get
be fine.
touches. Yeah, it's
I feel like it's weird to say it's the risky pick when he's in the best offense.
not a risky pick.
You don't think so? I feel like it's a little risky.
Compared to the other backs, I think he's not going to get as much volume.
That's what I'm saying. I think Swift and Gibson get more volume than Clyde.
But right now they do, but eventually,
Eventually.
yeah,
We'll see.
it's more of a long term.
Okay.
I got these next 2 picks.
Well, are we not doing? We're doing Snake or we're doing?
Yeah,
No,
it's
not
Snake.
Snake. No, it's
Oh,
not
is it not Snake? Okay.
We're not doing
then,
Snake.
We can do Snake.
It's fine either way. I'll just take one. That makes it a lot harder. I was between Cam Akers and J.K. Dobbins.
You're just gonna take both.
Yeah, I was gonna take both. I'm just gonna take J.K. Dobbins just because I feel like he's in a set for a better situation. I think Cam Akers has looked really good, but J.K. Dobbins, especially if you look at the end of the season, was probably, other than Jonathan Taylor, I think he looked the best fantasy-wise for any of the rookie running backs.
I wouldn't even say fantasy-wise. I would just say talent-wise. He's looking really good.
And
Yeah,
the,
He's looking
It's
really
definitely
good.
better than Cam Akers talent-wise.
the thing that I think that's
Cam
really,
Akers is really good though. He just
yeah,
got hurt.
but the thing that Cam
But
Akers
if you
doesn't have,
watch, is Lamar
J.K.
Jackson.
Dobbins, man, that guy is. Whew.
the thing that Cam Akers doesn't have that J.K. Dobbins does have is his coach trusts him. I don't know if you guys have seen the video.
I saw that.
Of after he fumbled the ball. But he has the trust of that organization. And
Dobbins.
Dobbins does,
The
yeah.
one thing I would say is he does have Lamar, and that's going to limit his. He's got a cap.
No, I don't think so.
He's going to touch. How many times he's touching the ball?
He's
every week.
that's gonna
It's just how it is.
that's gonna increase his
He's
touchdown
very
upside.
efficient. I disagree. I think that he's very efficient. He's going to touch the ball, and people aren't. I think the reason why he's efficient is because he's got Lamar there, and they run so many read options.
Yeah,
But
I think
because the linebackers have to respect Lamar's ability to run, or else they're
Lamar,
gonna get
exactly.
torched. Yeah,
I think
Exactly. So I think JK is just capped. He's capped at 15 carries max a week. I don't
Yeah.
think he's going to get
That's
more than
fair.
that
That's
any
true.
given week.
but I
he's
think he
just
has
really good.
he has a
really
lot
good.
more touchdown upside because of Lamar though. Because they'll get
Well,
around in the
I would
strongly
disagree.
disagree.
He's
I
gonna
mean, he scored a
vulture the
touchdown in like 5 straight games.
That's true, but if you look,
And like if you
Lamar
look at Mark
Jackson also
Ingram,
gets rushing.
if you look at Mark Ingram last
look
year,
at Devin Singletary, Josh Allen has vultured touchdowns from him.
okay, but that's a
Look
different
at
offense.
Cam Newton. It's not though because they use rushing quarterbacks.
But it's different because when they run so much that Dobbins is gonna have to get a lot more carries than a Devin Singletary.
He went 9 straight weeks without a touchdown.
But that's when they still had they're still using Ingram and
I'm
Edwards.
just saying.
I'm just saying his
in the games that he's played,
he's
gone 5 straight weeks with a touchdown.
and he's also still stuck in a committee. We don't know where that's going.
And
With
Gus
that
Edwards
Edwards.
has looked really good this year too. I think it's
Well,
just that offense's running schemes are amazing, so that everyone's looking good.
We're
But
not
I
worried
think that,
about.
like I said, I think the thing that J.K. Dobbins has, and I think we should move on because I think we could talk about this pick for a while. But I think the one thing that he has that you wouldn't say that you have in a player like Cam Akers is that his coach is seeming like he wants to give him the ball. Cam Akers does not seem like his coach wants to give him the ball.
Okay. Are we doing snake or no?
No,
No,
because
that'd be
no, you
stupid.
can't. Yeah.
Okay.
Wait,
All right,
wait.
Brian.
Oh, no, we should do snake. Otherwise, the teams are going to be whack.
No, but that's how it is though, because if you're a rookie draft,
In a dynasty rookie draft, it's not snake.
the worst
Oh,
team pick.
oh,
Yeah.
okay. So that means I have this pick, correct?
Yep.
Yes, you do.
Well, Cam Makers is amazing. I understand the value of running backs, but I mean, teehee.
Higgins is a good pick. Higgins
Um,
is good.
Considering, I know his quarterback, his knee is kind of not in place, but seems to be a common theme with my receiver choices with CeeDee Lamb. But T. Higgins, a very talented man. He went very low in like actual rookie drafts. He probably would have been like way down
Second or
here,
third round.
so like an early third. Some people reached on him, understood the talent. I was not one of those people. I wish I was one of those people, and he is continuing to prove me wrong. Bless you.
He's really good deep threat red zone target.
And he's perfect for Joe Burrow and what this offense needs.
Well,
He reminds me a lot of AJ Green, and it's kind of
his
ironic
hand-
he plays in the
he
same
has-
team.
Yeah, he's
He
real
has
good.
some strong hands.
He does, yeah. He's got some AJ Brown hands and To hands. He's got some strong hands.
So with my pick, I am gonna take the running back here. I'm gonna take Cam Akers. I think he's the last running back of this class that has a chance to. I mean, AJ Dillon if Aaron Jones isn't there, but other than that, he's the last running back I think that has potential to have a workhorse type role in an offense.
Mhm.
I
I don't know.
don't
He's very
know Sean.
similar.
I don't know if Sean McVay will use workhorse because of what happened to Todd Gurley, but from the few games where he just let him eat, he played very well.
His situation is very similar to Dobbins, just like the running back position, not Lamar, because it's got like a rookie running back that looks a little bit better, but then they also have Darrell Henderson. This is with J.K. Dobbins. He also has Gus Edwards eaten into his role, so they both should go in like the same range. I think it's a good pick.
Yeah.
All right, my turn.
Yeah.
Well, I'm very happy this guy slipped to me because
I know exactly what it is. Don't tell me.
okay. I mean, not no.
No?
It's Ayuk.
No, it was Ayuk.
Oh, that's a good pick.
Yeah, I was not Jerry Judy. Yeah, I mean, as a Niner fan, I'm super excited for this guy. He has looked amazing. He's looking like the WR1 in our offense. Now, Kittle is coming back next year. But if we draft a quarterback, if we still have Jimmy, I don't think it matters because this dude has looked incredible. Just
I'm gonna have to disagree. I'm gonna say that Debo's still the number one option there, at least for receivers.
And the one thing
He's
I'd say
just
that is
been
scary.
good.
Sorry for cutting you off, Jack. The one thing I'd say is scary is if you look at the 1 week that he did play with Kittle, it was a bad
Yeah.
week.
It was a bad week.
yeah, but we did have
Yeah.
CJ Beathard.
No,
throwing him the
but no,
ball.
he
It
he's
doesn't
gonna,
matter though.
he's
been
gonna be
playing-
capped by George Kittle for sure. I mean, once George Kittle is in the offense, he's the main focal point. Like
Yeah.
it
And we're
doesn't
also
matter.
a
who-
No.
run
It's not
first
even about
team.
Kittle. It's
We're a
more.
run first zone.
Yeah, it's about our run first. We love to run. I
We-
mean, look at the playoffs last
we
year.
love
We
the run
threw 12
game.
times. So
Yeah.
if especially with our scheme and George Kittle, obviously he's gonna get his targets because best player in football.
I don't know
and
about that.
Debo's more of like a running back, so I
Yeah.
could see Debo's role being decreased and this guy being our W1 because.
I think we
Whew-wee.
use Debo more on the end arounds and we use Ayuk more of a traditional.
I just think that Ayuk's numbers were maybe looked better than they
Inflated a little
actually
bit.
are
They're a little
No,
bit
because
but he's
inflated.
like a real
oh, he's
one.
a
Debo's not a
more
one.
true receiver than Debo.
Yeah.
But the thing I'd say is if you look at his target numbers, I think his target numbers are a little bit unrealistic for what they're going to be next year. I mean, sure, at
Yes.
this like the 10, 14.
7 to 10 makes sense to me.
Yeah, but then when you scroll down and it's 14 and and I think he had 1 week where he had more than 14
Yeah,
even.
our offense definitely caps him out, especially with Kittle. So
I think if we draft a quarterback, Kyle will want to throw a little bit more.
No, we want to run more. To
No,
get
I'm
him used to
saying in the
offense.
future. In the future is what I'm saying.
Oh yeah,
like,
I use
Three
a good future
years
pick.
down. Yeah. So I mean, I
All right,
like.
well, I'm
It's a good pick. It's a
Yeah.
good pick.
I mean,
Good
he's
pick.
still
I'm gonna
super
go
talented.
7 here, 2-7. I'm gonna go Jerry Judy. I know this guy is terrible, no hands, but if we look at history, I can think of another receiver who is amazing route running and also could not catch the ball. So I think that he'll develop over time and not be, not have Drew Lock throwing him the ball. He'll get better.
That receiver is Devonte Adams, for those of you who are wondering who that receiver is with really good route running and had no hands. As a Packers fan, I can tell you he used to have no hands.
No hands at all. No hands to be seen.
I mean, obviously,
We
I'm the Jerry Judy owner in our Dynasty League. So obviously I'm a little frustrated with his performance this year. I was really hoping he could at least be like a WR3 for my team, and he just hasn't been that. And inconsistent quarterback play from Drew Lock, just not looking his way. And then he finally gets thrown the ball and he drops the ball 5 times. That's crazy. I've never seen something like that before. So I mean, he was super
I think
talented in college.
Slipping here, I think he's a solid pick.
Yeah,
I think
it's
he's,
a good pick.
he's a very solid pick.
I mean, I think you
especially
take
for
him
this level.
over.
I think he probably even still could be considered in the first round.
Yep.
we have to hope that, or not necessarily hope, but we have to either hope that Drew Lock plays better or that they draft a quarterback, because the way Drew Lock looked this year, and I think Cortland Sutton will actually help
Yeah.
Jerry Judy because he attracts a lot of attention because he's also very good. So
Speaking of drafting a quarterback, I'm gonna take Jalen Hurts here.
Oh,
Solid pick.
Oh,
He's I think a lot of people are gonna not think that he's not gonna be the I think he could be the guy, but I don't know if he'll ever be the guy. He looked really good at the end of the season, not so much against the Cowboys. I think that's kind of the scary thing, is like if the Cowboys defense can slow you down, that's not a great start.
we had a big debate about this last night when we were talking to
think-
each other.
I think part of the issue is definitely people are getting a better read on him now that he's
Yeah.
played a couple games. But I think he definitely has the dual threat talent that you would want.
For fantasy purposes, for sure. But the one thing that I
Yeah.
would say is scary is that he does have Carson Wentz there, and I don't think they can get rid of that contract.
I
So
would
it's-
warn, I would warn owners trying to trade for Jalen Hurts that maybe not to give up too much, because I still think Carson Wentz, one, has a terrible contract, so like they can't get rid of him, and two, that Carson Wentz may still be more talented than Jalen Hurts, which I think he is. He just had he struggled a lot this year, but Jalen, once they get film on him,
Yeah.
they're gonna start figuring him out. The thing is, especially with quarterbacks that know how to run and read these RPOs and read options, like they're hard to get on film. And then now, like you saw him struggle versus the Cowboys. He played well his other 3 games, but you just never know with these type of quarterbacks.
And the other thing I'd say is, I don't think if you're trying to trade for Jalen Hurts, I don't think his value is going to go too much higher than it is right now. I think the Jalen Hurts owner is currently doing a little dance and is super happy about how he's performing. So I don't think his value is going to go much higher than it is right now. And because I think if I owned Hurts in my league, I'm going to treat him as if he's the QB3 or the QB4, even if he's not that, just because of how he performed. So I wouldn't trade for him this moment. I would wait for the start of next season, because I don't think you're going to get anything additional in value by trading for him now.
Yeah, you could
I
possibly
do
sell
hope-
high on him too.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
do hope the Eagles maybe draft a receiver though.
They probably will.
You definitely need one. They need one.
Yeah, they need one.
Alshon's a free agent.
Well,
T-Jax
Alshon
is a
cannot
free
run
agent.
He's
anymore.
also
They're not-
33 or
Yeah,
something.
they're not doing anything. I mean, Rager has looked good in the limited playing time he's had.
But they need help.
Yeah, they need
doing
a
well.
true number 1.
Well, the other thing I would say about Hurts is, you remember at the start of the year when Carson Wentz was playing bad, there was always that thing in the back of people's minds like, well, we got a guy in the second round named Jalen Hurts. So now when you flip that around next season and Jalen Hurts is a starter And speaking to what Ryan said, they're gonna have more film on him. And let's say he struggles out of the gates and has a little bit of a sophomore slump. They're gonna be like, well, we got this guy making $30 million just sitting on the bench. Might as
Yeah.
well give him a try. So
That's a
yeah,
good way to put it,
I
actually.
think a lot of people forget that Carson Wentz was an MVP candidate before he
should have
got
been
hurt that
MVP.
season.
He was going to be
He was going to
MVP.
be MVP that year if he didn't get hurt.
But he has not been good at all this year. Like, we can all agree.
Oh yeah, his
He's been
accuracy
terrible.
issues. I don't know
Yeah.
what the ACL did to him, but it did
I
not
think
look
he's
good.
just trying to play.
You
He's
froze
trying to
again.
play hero ball, if that's what Jack was trying to say. He was trying to play hero, especially because last year he had all his injuries. He led them to the playoffs, so maybe he got in over his head or something. He just had a really terrible year.
Yeah, it's a combination of the offense calling bad plays, the receivers not getting open, and also his accuracy issues. I think it's just all of them are to blame, especially in a terrible division. I know the
Sure.
footballs have good defense, but I mean, you gonna tell me about the Cowboys defense? Like, come on. All
All
right,
right, Brian, what's the pick?
let's move
Brian.
on. This is a bit of an interesting spot because
Mhm.
there's the running backs. I mean, AJ Dillon's got I think he has a bright future, but there's some other receivers I'd rather have. I love Denzel Mims, Henry Ruggs. Before the season, I really liked because I was thinking of it like the 1970 Raiders, where they would just throw deep balls to fast receivers. But if they're gonna stick with Derek Carr, he doesn't really fit. So I'm going to go with a guy where I think a receiver is going to be leaving this offseason and who I think is uber talented out of the fighting Irish, Chase Claypool. Uh, I'm hoping Big Ben's out the door, and I'm hoping they get a better quarterback that can throw the deep ball and utilize his talents better. But if you watch a Steelers game, I mean, any route, you could just throw it up to him, and you're going to have a good chance of completing the pass. He's always been good at deep threats. He fits the offense really well. I think it was a great pick by the organization, and with a new quarterback, he could do a lot of damage.
Yeah, Big Ben, he's not staying there much longer.
I think-
a good young quarterback coming in would really help his value.
Yeah, if they
I
got
think-
him,
But
Oh.
if Juju leaves, Chase Claypool's value is going to be amazing. He's a huge red zone threat. So any receiver that's a red zone threat, like in fantasy, you want that 6 free points pretty much. So
Yeah.
I think even with Big Ben, like, he's not going to be as good as if they, like, get another
No.
young quarterback. No, because I still think, he's not going to get that. You don't think so?
because they're not utilizing his best skill set. Because I mean, Ian Book is kind of trash. I hate him, but at least he could throw a deep ball. Like Big Ben, he's perfect with Deontay because Deontay runs like those short and intermediate routes. But if you can't utilize the deep ball on like if Tyreek Hill was on the Steelers, it'd be terrible because his quarterback can't throw it deep. So I think with a better quarterback, he'll be a lot better. He's a long-term pick.
I think we all want Juju to kind of leave the.
Yeah,
Oh.
as James.
I think
Washington.
Juju should leave for,
James
I
for
think
himself.
it's just I mean Juju could go to a team where he'll get more targets, and Deontay and Claypool are probably the future of that offense.
okay, I'm here. Like I said, I think all the running backs here besides AJ Dillon are all the ones that are guaranteed touches are gone by now. AJ Dillon is still risky without knowing whether Aaron Jones will resign. I'm gonna take a guy here I love him so much, and I think T.Y. Hilton is gonna leave pretty soon. Philip Rivers caps his upside a
Yeah,
lot,
Rivers' last game could be
but
tomorrow.
Michael Pittman Jr. He's at USC he caught deep balls a little bit. This last week we saw Philip Rivers of all quarterbacks taking deep shots to Pittman. He's good at short intermediate routes. He's not the fastest guy. He's not the best at route running, but I think he has an insane amount of upside and opportunity ahead because he played pretty much all the snaps this season as a rookie when he came back from his injury.
Yeah.
The only thing I'm worried about is maybe Paris Campbell.
Yeah, but there's something to be said about when the GM and coach both love a guy. They usually give them multiple opportunities to be great, and especially he runs like their WR1 routes, even with T.Y. Hilton there. He's gonna be great for a long time.
Yeah, Paris Campbell is still there, and he was a second round pick, right?
Well, Paris
Second
Campbell had a
Yeah,
good start to the year,
Yeah,
but
he did.
Paris Campbell's coming off 2 season-ending injuries, so I mean, he's still talented, but coming off 2 season-ending injuries isn't easy.
I
They-
saw a video of Paris Campbell. This is random, but it was like how I'm going into the new year. But then like the first time I go outside in the new year, and then he slipped on like a piece of ice and he fell, and it's like sums up my career, which is kind of sad. But okay, no one thought that was funny.
Moving on.
Okay,
I think there's only like
Johnnick's
4
pick.
picks here with any value.
okay. I have a question for you guys.
what?
Do I take James Robinson here?
Oh,
I forgot about
forgot
him.
about
I-
James
yeah.
Robinson.
Okay,
I forgot about him. Oh, we should have gone way earlier then, huh?
Oh
okay,
yeah.
then I'm
Oh,
taking James
Yeah.
Robinson here. Guaranteed
Yeah.
touches, right?
Why did
I mean-
you even ask?
Okay. I was just wondering your guys' insight. I mean, this dude was incredible. I took him in the.
I think that he's definitely not going to be there in the next 2 years.
Yeah,
But I think
realistically,
for at least
oh.
next year, he might be pretty good.
You don't think he's gonna be on the team?
No, he's gonna be
No,
there,
I-
but I think they're gonna
he'll
draft
be
like
there, but
have
he's
other
gonna-
people.
They're going to draft a running back eventually.
I
Like,
think
this
they
is-
They're not
draft.
gonna-
They could. See, the whole thing with me is that, and we've talked about this a bunch, but they have so many other needs besides running back.
Not even needs. You can just sign one in the offseason and split carries.
Yeah,
because
he's not gonna
just-
get this much.
He's not going to get this many. No.
This
He's
is
just
gonna
not.
be his best fantasy season by far.
I would say
It's
that I
probably
would
gonna
have
be his best
taken him.
season.
I would have taken him higher, but at the same time, there's something to be said about the fact that the Jaguars have seemed to like to use that bell cow running back. And the thing that's scary for James Robinson is I know he looked really great this year, but he didn't have the draft capital behind him.
That's
So they
true.
could take a guy in the 3rd or 4th, and he's still going to be draft capital wise more valuable to the team.
But he has looked amazing this year. I think we can all agree. It's just the
Yeah.
long-term value is what scares us.
I'm just saying there is still I know he was projected to be drafted, but there still is a reason why he was undrafted. I'm not saying undrafted guys can't be good because Adam Thielen, James Robinson, but
Adam
there's
Thielen was undrafted?
Yeah, Arian Foster was undrafted.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, you could say Philip Lindsay, same position.
Yeah. See, Lindsey's a good example, but him and Robinson play very differently.
yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
but these undrafted guys that come out of
Yeah.
nowhere, like
Yeah.
Arian Foster's an outlier. Like normally they're like 1 year and then they're gone.
We'll
We
see.
also
I mean,
saw
look at
the
even
Jags
Philip
use-
Lindsay. Look at
Yeah,
Philip
Lindsay's
Lindsay.
terrible this year.
He was amazing, and then they
Test-
just signed Melvin Gordon.
No, I still
you
think
know?
he's a bit more talented than Melvin Gordon. I think Melvin Gordon's washed up, but for some reason they
right.
just love Melvin
but
Gordon.
they still
because
signed
they're
somebody,
paying
even
him.
though they had an undrafted rookie.
But
Yeah,
like,
An undrafted
yeah, that's what
talent.
I'm saying. Is I think with the draft capital, that's the one thing that scares you with him.
I
But
go
I still
Yeah.
think he should have gone higher.
Or
Oh,
they
he
could
definitely
maybe.
should go
I'm-
higher.
I think they still
Um,
could use Reichwell.
But
No.
honestly, I still
No.
think I take Claypool over him.
Would you take Jerry Judy over him?
I was thinking I would take James Robinson in either the Ayuk Judy split or the Judy Jalen Hurts split.
I
I
don't
mean,
know.
yeah.
I think I'd rather have Claypool than him.
Yeah, I think Pittman maybe, but I think
I don't think Pittman. I think I'd go Robinson over Pittman, but I don't think Claypool. I think.
But you
Claypool
could
has
also
more
think of
value.
it as the timeline of your team because we don't know what team. If your team is in a win now mode and you get James Robinson.
Well, this is
For
just talent, though. This is just
Oh, I
talent
guess
and
that's true.
opportunity. We're
That's
just
true.
drafting the rookie, right?
yeah.
And here I'm gonna go with this next pick, Jalen Rager. I think he's had flashes of being really good, and he just hasn't had good quarterback
That was
and
Tyler's
good
pick.
opportunities. hmm
Yeah,
My thing with Jalen
that's a good
Rager
pick.
is I don't know what type of receiver is
He's
he?
like he's like a speedy dude.
Yeah.
Like Deshaun
like a
Jackson
speedy
type of
slot.
guy.
No, he's more of like a slot guy, I think.
I think the thing that I'd say about Jalen Rager is I've been watching him play. He's looked really good. If you look at his snap percentage, I don't think he's been on the field as much as he should have been, especially on the Eagles of all teams. If you think when we talk about their receiving core is not very good, I think despite his injury issues, he should have been on the field a whole lot more. I don't think there's any guy that looked better than him on that team, on the field. And I'm a little bit biased because I have him in our Dynasty league. But I think he showed. I think the thing about Jalen Rager that you can't say about almost any of the rookie receivers other than Jefferson, Pittman, Claypool and Higgins is he's looked good. I don't think you can say that for. I mean, Ruggs has
Well,
had
I would say-
flashes.
You don't
I
think
would say
Lamb's
that
look
all
good?
I'm saying like I think that he's one of those guys that I feel like he's kind of already established himself, whereas I think that like a Jerry Judy hasn't really established himself yet.
I don't know about
Yeah,
that.
I think Jalen Rager is a good
Uh,
player, but my only
I don't think
concern
that
is the
he-
same thing with Henry Ruggs is they don't use him right.
Yeah.
They have him on like they just throw up
Doesn't he
lobs to
return
him.
punts? He
But if
returns
we
punts,
think about
right?
It's
this,
just
we were
not-
talking about this earlier. You think Doug Peterson's going to stay, and then
No.
he
I
doesn't,
saw a
you don't think-
report. I saw a
Pearson's
report today.
staying,
He's
so that would
staying.
actually lower his value in my opinion because they don't
staying.
use him right.
But the thing about all these guys is they're really young. That's the nice thing about a rookie draft. They're really young.
All of
So,
them have so much potential.
yeah.
Especially this class in particular because
Mhm.
all these guys are amazing.
Like I think it's we're getting a guy like Chase Claypool at the 2.5, which is
2.6, 2.6.
2.6. It's
oh
like
2.6. I don't have like and he's he's been a WR2/3 not 2. He's been WR3 this.
Claypool?
He's been boomer bust.
He's
Dude,
been
that's
very
boomer bust.
inconsistent.
He is-
though.
he's a
It's called
WR
boomer
bust.
fade.
He's a WR2 in standard, but that's
It's
because
just
of
because of this
the
game, this
Philly
3
game.
touchdown game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For some of these rankings, when you look at like WR2,
Yeah, rankings are
WR3,
deceptive.
Yeah.
He's been very
they're
boomer bust,
like
but he's-
Tyler Lockett is a WR2, but he was very
true,
inconsistent this
that's
year
true.
because he had 2 blow up games. So
Um,
take it with a grain of salt.
but it still counts for something, I feel like.
So here, there's 2 ways you can go. I mean, you can go Denzel Mims. I'm not going to go Denzel
There's
Mims
3
just
dudes
because I don't
there.
like the Jets, and I don't think they're going to draft a quarterback. So it's between Ruggs and AJ Dillon for me. AJ Dillon's a riskier pick. I'm gonna go Ruggs here. He's shown some flashes. He's really fast, really
I
really
would
fast.
also like to say that Amari Cooper, his first couple of years was not after his
You
Go
cut
ahead,
out again,
Tyler.
Jack.
Go ahead, Tyler.
So the thing that I'd say that's a little bit scary about Ruggs is he's kind of like Rager. I don't think there's who's the
just
guy.
look at the report. 1 touch in week 16 return.
Dude, they
Right.
just don't use
Like,
these
why
guys.
They
right?
just don't
That's
use
the
'em.
problem.
He did.
Like,
He had 2 targets. It doesn't-
honestly, if you
doesn't make
flip
sense.
them and had the usages flipped, it'd be amazing. But it's not like that, so it doesn't work.
I think the good thing for Ruggs though is he's a talented receiver, and I think I don't know what Oakland's gonna do from quarterback or in general in their offense, but
Well,
I
they
think
are a run first.
yeah, they're a run first team, but I think Gruden's going to try to get him in a little bit more usage as he progresses. So I think that's the one thing I'd say that's good for him.
It's also highly questionable that you draft a receiver 12th overall and then use Nelson Aguilar as much as they do.
We just
Yeah.
hope we
Yeah.
hope he doesn't turn into like a John Ross.
And the thing with
Oh, he's not a John Ross. He's
I
actually
know.
talented.
Yeah.
the thing with rookie receivers is that you need like if you have a bunch of them that didn't perform well, like a Ruggs, like a Rager, you don't want to like trade them for nothing because like
Yeah.
there's you're not gonna have receivers that just go off like Justin Jefferson did every season. Like that's Justin Jefferson's a rare case of rookie receivers. Most guys don't emerge till their second, third years anyways.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
guys like Ruggs and Rager definitely hold on to, don't give away for nothing.
All right. At the 3-1. There's actually various ways I could go. I could go with the quad man himself, but I think it's too risky because they have Aaron Jones and Jamal Williams. I mean, they could let them both go, but I don't really know.
I think if they let, as a Packers fan, I think if they let even Aaron Jones walk, I think Jamal Williams would become the backup. I think that they would give
Yeah.
AJ Dillon the keys.
Yeah, but you would hope, but it's kind of like a risk factor. We don't really know.
for sure.
Brian,
LaVisca.
no Keyshawn Vaughn here. Or?
No, I don't want to talk about it. All right, so LaVisca, he's gonna get Trevor Lawrence, that's for sure, unless they make a franchise-altering
Fields.
decision and take Justin Fields because of how amazing he looked on yesterday, or whenever we're recording this on Friday. But I think there's a guy that I know Sam Darnold is probably gonna be there because the Jets are stupid. But
I like them keeping Darnold a little bit, actually.
Mims is
But
No.
considering the quarterback class,
That's true. That's true.
and how bad they've made Sam Darnold, I think they should draft a quarterback. Regardless of who the quarterback is, I mean, Justin Jefferson's killing it with Kirk Cousins. So I mean, it matters to an extent. But Denzel Mims, I mean, even like look at the snap percentage. Like they love this guy, and I know Sam Darnold and Jamison Crowder have a love and affection, and he loves going his way, but. You look at the routes that they have Denzel Mims on. He has one of the highest air yards per target in the league. They run him on the WR1 routes. He's all like 20-yard in routes. Very great for fantasy, high volume. So I think give him a couple years. It's more of like a wait and see, especially third round pick. I think Denzel Mims would be great for years to
will
come.
not take this Kirk Cousins slander.
I mean, you love to see that
Solid
snap
quarterback.
No, I'm
percentage
just saying that they
for-
didn't need you don't need like a top 10 QB to have like a great fantasy receiver.
Oh yes.
But Kirk Cousins
Yeah.
is okay, but
He's
Overpaid,
good.
though.
For a rookie, you love to see
Solid.
that snap percentage from Mims. Though.
yeah, exactly. And like Sam Darnold, I'm just saying Sam Darnold could get to where Kirk Cousins is. Like it's realistic in my opinion. That's all I was trying to say.
Interesting.
Okay. With my pick here, I still think AJ Dillon is really good, but he's too risky here when I have I think there's one more guy that I can count on to get snaps, and I think I'm gonna take LaVisca here.
That was low key my pick.
You see towards the end of his season, he started playing more snaps. They're gonna get Trevor Lawrence or Justin Fields. Either
They're
one's
gonna get
gonna.
Lawrence.
It's gonna be Trevor Lawrence, but he's gonna just elevate that entire offense. DJ Chark's gonna be a really good receiver next year, and LaVisca is gonna be he's the best one out of the rest of them. I mean, Keelan Cole's he's all right, but LaVisca has a chance to have a really good season next year with Trevor Lawrence.
We've talked about LaVisca on the other
last
draft.
one.
Yeah, but I think I really like his talent.
Well, they have an offense that's like perfectly set up for Trevor Lawrence. Like they have an amazing run blocking scheme. Like you can say whatever you want about the talent of James Robinson, but an undrafted player rushing as well as James Robinson did. I mean, they have a team well set up for him. DJ Chark is an amazing deep threat. LaVisca, they could use him on end arounds. The offense is going to be amazing next year. So honestly, you can get any piece that you think is going to be like stay there each year. I mean, look at the snap percentage. They love this guy. So.
Yeah, there was a 35% in there. I don't know what happened.
He got
there,
hurt.
Oh, okay. But then every other 91, 75. Yeah. So, okay. Well, I mean, we've talked about this guy a lot, but I think I'm gonna take Dylan here.
Quad man.
Yeah, quad man. I mean, yeah, he just needs to get the opportunity, and I think he can shine in that offense. It's just whether Aaron Jones stays or goes. Because I think Jamal Williams, he's good, but he's not gonna be a starter. He's not gonna start over Dylan. I don't think.
I think Jamal Williams would be a third down back.
Yeah. So I think I'll take Dylan. I mean, he looked really good versus the Titans. We'll see how they use him more and more as the playoff time comes. But yeah,
I think he's going to get a lot of usage in the playoffs, especially, and I think that's going to be great for somebody who already has him on his team. He's one of those guys that I think that he's definitely worth picking up just for the potential if you can try to trade for him.
Okay.
My next couple picks are going to be great.
There's not a lot of people I like here.
My next couple picks are going to be amazing. All right, I'm going to go Cole Kmet here.
Oh, that was my pick.
Love Cole Kmet.
Cool.
My boy.
He's good. He's really good.
Did he freeze? Was he
He
talking?
did freeze.
Look at
That's
that
tough.
snap percentage, though. Look at week 15, he had 100, 16, 91, 86, 77, 79, 70.
I mean, you're not scared of Jimmy Graham long term, and this dude was taken in the second round. So I think he can be, especially if Mitch.
Yeah, watching Notre Dame games last year. Dual threats of Cole Kmet and Chase Claypool. I always thought they're going to be good for years to come, and Claypool's proven it. Kmet is a great blocker, so he's always gonna be on the field, which is amazing for tight ends.
Okay, that's nice.
You want a piece of Cole Kmet. This year, Jimmy Graham's vulturing touchdowns, but when the years go down, Jimmy Graham, I would hope, would retire.
Yeah, that's you'd expect him to retire pretty soon. This is kind of where I think is the hugest drop off of talent. There's nobody I love here. You look at Joshua Kelly was a guy that was really good at the start of the season, but I think we can all
Joshua Kelly
agree
sucks.
he
He's
hasn't
terrible.
he hasn't looked good since the very start of the season. There's a little bit of hope in there
He
for a
had
little
one
bit.
good game.
Well, he had a couple good games, I think.
Yeah, two
He
good
looked
games.
good for a couple of games. I don't know stat wise how he did, but he looked good for
I
a
guess
couple of
that's
games.
fair. That's fair. He was looking like a
Um,
workhorse.
Yeah, I don't know. I think this is where you kind of. I really don't like Zach Moss, but I don't know if I could. I think I gotta take a guy that's in a tough situation, but I think the talent's there. Van Jefferson.
Okay, I like the pick.
He's on the Rams, which is a little bit scary because I think we know who's going to be there. But the Rams have a really good offense, and I know he's not getting the snap percentage. I mean, you just see all red, which is kind of scary. But I think when you watch him in that offense, I think he has a good chance of having a good role. I think especially with Cooper Kupp not playing next week, I think we're going to get a lot better idea of what he's going to be to this offense. So I think he's one of those guys that he has high upside, whereas I think a lot of these rookies that are left, their upside's a little bit capped.
The thing
For
I
me-
like about Van Jefferson is he reminds me a lot of Robert Woods, like his play
Yeah.
style, his hands. He can even block when they need him to. So I think as Robert Woods deteriorates, especially in his getting open or creating separation, they're gonna go more towards Van Jefferson, and I think you'll see him really assume that role.
What was disappointing for me with Van Jefferson is that early reports were that he was going to beat out Josh Reynolds. That's his name, right? Josh Reynolds.
Yeah.
Josh Reynolds.
Josh Reynolds. By the beginning of the year, or at least towards midseason, and he still hasn't gotten over that hump yet. So I mean, he's only a rookie. He give him some time, but that was just one thing that was disappointing to me.
Definitely
Yeah, I mean-
disappointing.
Oh
But-
shoot! I let somebody slip. I
but-
just realized.
I know who it is, Tyler, and I'm gonna take him.
Hmm.
I don't know what he's talking about actually.
It's
I know who it is. Don't say it, Tyler. I know who it is. I'm taking him.
Oh, I think I know who it is.
I think you're talking about this guy.
nope.
No,
Has he done anything?
No, he
he's been
hasn't.
injured the whole year. He's torn
Or
ACL or
whatever. I don't
something.
know who you guys are talking about, but I like a guy. He plays with a running back that plays QB on the offense.
Devin Duvernay.
But as I said earlier, there's something to be said about when a GM and a coach both love a guy. I know the snaps weren't really there, but his talent, especially playing out of the slot, and the one thing I do know about quarterbacks that don't have accuracy down the field is they love tight ends and slot receivers. Now we've seen from Lamar Jackson that he loves Mark Andrews and even Hayden Hurst last year, but we haven't seen the slot receiver yet. And I think in year 2 or 3, you're going to really see the slot receiver come out. And Devin Duvernay, in his last year in college at Texas, he had like the second most receptions out of the slot, only to Jerry Judy. So I think he's going to fit that role perfectly. And I know John Harbaugh loves him. So I'm excited for the future.
Okay.
Nice.
I think I'm gonna take Anthony McFarland here.
Mm,
I
I'm
think he's
between
have
him
potential
and
to start a
I'm
little bit.
between him and
next year.
KJ
Well,
Hamler.
He might play a little bit next year. I mean, James,
But yeah,
Conner might not.
James Carter didn't look very fresh this year.
Well, after
Uh,
COVID, before he was amazing.
Yeah, his Anthony McFarland's snap percentages.
I don't know if I like McFarland.
Quite
He hasn't really
ugly.
impressed with any of the opportunities he's been given.
Well,
Yeah,
he hasn't
I
mean,
been
what
given a whole
opportunity,
lot though.
I mean, there
Yeah,
hasn't
he
been a
hasn't really-
lot.
At this point in the third round, you're pretty much just shooting upside, and with Anthony McFarland, I can see him potentially being the starting running back. So
I don't know. They still love Benny Snell. So best
Yeah.
case scenario, you're just gonna get like a between the 20s guys that only gets touchdowns, long touchdowns. I don't know. I don't really see a long-term fantasy viable guy in Anthony McFarland.
Hey, Jack.
Don't do it. Don't
Is
do it.
Is it Gabe Davis?
No, it's not.
No, it's not. But Gabe Davis is an amazing pick here.
I don't want to take Gabe Davis.
Oh, I know who
Oh,
it
it's
is.
Darnell Mooney.
Yeah.
I forgot. Oh, these guys rank so
Well,
low.
I didn't want Gabe Davis.
You just said you wanted him.
I said, is it Gabe
No.
Davis?
So now you want
It's
Darnell Mooney?
Mooney.
Yeah, just let him take Darnell Mooney. It's fine.
It's weird. I took Mooney in our other one, but I guess I'll take Mooney.
He's ranked
so
Mooney
low. I
is
didn't even realize that.
So good.
I was trying to
Mooney
find the
is so
sleeper,
good.
but I couldn't find him.
He is
Yeah, I forgot about
amazing.
him.
He's so good. So good. I'm sorry, Tyler. I wish I didn't trade with you, but I kind of,
You did trade him to me.
he's very good. He gets open every play. He's an amazing route runner, and he just hasn't had the quarterback that gets him the ball.
Bro,
It,
what do you mean?
I think the good thing about Darnell Mooney is he's flashed a lot, and he's gotten a lot of attention, not only from like the head of the Bears, but he's getting like media attention. So when a rookie who was not super high draft capital, because when we were talking about the receivers in this class, Darnell Mooney's name was not getting brought up. Let's be honest. It was Jerry Judy, Henry Ruggs, CeeDee Lamb. I mean, and like you never heard this guy's name come up, but he's flashed.
I think the thing with Mooney is that if Allen Robinson does leave, I think it's going to hurt him a lot. Because I don't know if he can be a number one.
His route running is very good.
He's a very good second receiver,
Hey,
Yeah.
Jack, he's 170 pounds.
but
He's small, man.
yeah, I don't see him being a wide receiver one on a team. But if Allen Robinson stays, he's gonna have an amazing year next year.
Yes.
I think
agree.
he's one of those guys that he needs a one to be there, but I think he could be almost as productive, if not more productive, than the one in that.
That's fair.
role.
Even if it's not Allen Robinson, because he's not going to be more productive than Allen Robinson. I don't think.
All right. Well, I think I have a pick that might surprise you guys, but it is a super flex, and this is the third round, and it's a hold. It's a hold. But give me Jordan Love.
Yeah, that's my
Give me
pick.
Jordan Love. Yeah.
I love me some Jordan. I don't know.
Love Jordan Love. He had some serious potential over in college. He's playing behind Aaron Rodgers, and last time the Packers did that, they came out with Aaron Rodgers. So
One thing
Look at
I'd
his
say is
snap percentage.
the one thing
low.
I'd say about Jordan Love is he is not Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers was coming in a lot more of a more solid prospect. But Jordan Love does.
I can understand that, but I think that Jordan Love had some really big.
You cut out. But I think where he was
Yeah, it's
going
on
with
the
it
Walmart
is
website.
Jordan Love is actually he has a really good talent in his arm. He's a super great prospect for somebody to sit behind. So to sit behind a legend in Aaron Rodgers is perfect for somebody like Jordan Love because I mean he just needs to learn a little bit of things in his game, and if he can do that, I think Jordan Love has huge potential.
I just think, how long does Aaron Rodgers have? Because this man is 39, still looking unstoppable.
Aaron Rodgers is like
He's
36.
like 34.
He's not 39?
No.
He's like 30. He's like 34.
But he has had a
I
lot of
think-
injuries, so I don't think he'll play as that much longer. But
37.
yeah, I
Oh,
still
no,
think you got a good
Rodgers
2,
has a
3
lot.
years. 2, 3
That-
years at least.
Jordan Love is a hold for probably
He's a hold.
3 or 4 more years.
You
He's
want
a
to
hold, but
you really
he
want to
could
bench
be.
a quarterback for how long was Rodgers
I
benched
mean,
for?
He's
I
a
honestly-
first round pick, though. He's a first round pick. I
He
think
is a
it's a good
first-round
hold.
pick.
And I think that players who sit, especially quarterbacks, have a history of, well, I guess only quarterbacks have a history of being good.
Well, sitting behind Aaron Rodgers is going to be amazing for him, but
It's just weird
it's
because
just when will he get the chance to ever
Yeah.
play?
like is Aaron Rodgers going to pull a Brady and be good till he's 43?
I don't
Because
know.
then-
I don't think that matters. I
think
don't think
so.
that matters. Look what
That's
they did to
6
Brett
years.
Favre. Look what
I
they did
think
to Brett Favre.
But
Tom
I don't
Brady's an
think
anomaly.
I don't think it matters.
they're going to push Aaron Rodgers out of Green Bay though.
They're not going to bench Aaron Rodgers for Jordan Love. I don't
Not
think.
not next year or the year after, but 3 years from now. I mean, that's kind of what they did to Brett Favre.
Yeah,
But
but
Prefer him left, though.
in terms of fantasy though, you could just leave Jordan Love on the wire and pick him up later.
Yeah.
I'd rather hold him and just have some serious potential that could. It's a
I mean, you
super
could just
flex
put him on the
league.
taxi squad.
All right. This pick is Keyshawn Vaughn for me. He's the only guy that
You stole him from me. Why would you do that?
He looked good in the only game that he got a ton of snaps. I think that's the question. Hey, is he going to get a ton of snaps? Probably not. I think that's the answer. Probably not. I think that the thing about Keyshawn Vaughn is, unless Uncle Lenny goes somewhere, I don't think he's going to get a ton of snaps. But I think he will. I think Leonard Fournette's,
Rojo though.
yeah, I know Rojo's there. That's obviously that. I know he's the third guy. That's the thing. He's basically AJ Dillon light. This is where I would put him, because he's got two good running backs in front of him. And he hasn't flashed like he flashed, but he didn't flash to the extent that I would say that AJ Dillon did. But he looked good. He looked like a serviceable running back, and
Succeeds with opportunity.
The thing is if you're looking at a lot of these guys left on the board, I don't think they've looked good, and I think he looked good.
Yeah. The thing is, like, I don't know what Rojo's contract situation is looking like, but I think it's either 2 years left versus like AJ Dillon with Aaron Jones and Jamal Williams could leave.
They're both good. They both.
Yeah.
So I don't think you're concerned of. I think Fournette could leave.
Fournette's gone, but Rojo is very concerning because Bruce Arians does love.
The thing is, Rojo can't catch passes, and that's kind of Vaughn's game, right? So.
Vaughn's just like an all-around guy.
Okay.
It's not really Vaughn's game. They just used him that way this season.
because
they
have Rojo.
They're stupid. That's why.
But the one thing I'd say is I think that we can say Shady's going to be gone. I think Fournette's going to be gone, and those were two guys that were eating into snaps, even if they weren't very good.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. At this point of the fourth round, there's not many guys
KJ
left.
Hamler, bro.
There's a KJ Hamler. Gabe Davis is also on the board.
Zach Moss.
I hate Zach Moss. Singletary is like head over heels, miles better than Zach Moss, and you'll see next year, in my opinion. Josh Kelly's also garbage. Darrington Evans would be a good dynasty hold for a Derrick Henry owner. But I think I gotta go with my boy, and it's on the basis that I'm hoping they draft a quarterback because Drew Lock is garbage. But KJ Hamler, extremely fast.
Second round pick.
He's good on like deep routes. He kind of plays a little bit like Henry Ruggs does. So I'm hoping they get a quarterback that fits what he does. But Judy and Sutton are definitely going to be ahead of him. They're both more talented. So it's kind of like if the offense gets a really good quarterback that hits big and that's really high powered, that's why he goes so late.
Okay, following that pick, I'm gonna take Gabe Davis here. I just think I don't know how old John Brown is, but since John Brown's been out, Gabe Davis has been stepped up as the number 2. His snap percentage is
wow. Look at that snap percentage.
He plays alongside Stephon Diggs, which only helps him. Josh Allen is having a breakout season. There's not much that I don't like about Gabe Davis. So
he's had a lot of catches called back where he's had some seriously big gains.
He has
he's out of bounds.
He's a decent red zone target as well. He's got
good hands. He's good.
I'm not looking for like a generational type player at this pick, but he has opportunity, and he's playing with Josh Allen alongside Diggs. So enough pass first offense.
Speaking, I guess pass first, but I think I take Zach Moss here. I mean, he has not been impressive with the opportunity that he's had, and he's had, opportunity. But I mean, he gets volume. They use him. They like him. I mean, this is fourth round. We're just taking whoever, and I mean, he's gonna be in a committee, but he's gonna be a starting running back, and that always counts for something in fantasy football. So nothing like that.
I think the
But-
only thing you're looking at with him is the goal line because they
Yeah.
don't trust
Yeah.
Singletary for some reason on the goal line. So if it's like a 50-50 split and he gets the goal line, especially in a Josh Allen offense, if they fix their run blocking, he could be pretty valuable.
I mean, like,
But-
think about it. You get 13 carries for 50 yards and a touchdown. Are you complaining with that? No.
Yeah, but he barely
He's
catches
kind of
the
capped at
ball.
like a flex option type player
Yeah.
for you.
I mean, what
Yeah.
else are we looking for here? If this dude can start on my flex, I think that's a pretty good deal.
All right, well, I'm gonna go Antonio Gandy Golden. I think he's pretty good. He's good at Liberty, but I think that he just hasn't been injured all year. So give him an
I
opportunity.
don't know. I don't have any intel on this dude.
Yeah, I never watched him play. He played like 2 games this season, so
Yeah, well, he was injured, but I think he was good at Liberty. So we'll just give him a chance here. I mean, he could be really good, maybe not.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I really hate. I'm gonna take Donovan Peoples-Jones here. I think that
Whoa.
if I'm taking players that I've seen that I've liked how they play, Donovan
Mhm.
Peoples-Jones is one of those guys.
That's a good pick.
really good pick.
And he's maybe not going to be a for sure guy. He's in a team with Odell Beckham Jr. and Jarvis Landry. But the thing is he's flashed a lot.
Yeah.
And that's what you look for in these later rounds, is somebody who's flashed.
I have Higgins too.
He's a guy that they'll still look at Odell and they'll say, yeah, you can walk. Let's give Donovan the chance.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Browns, I'm going to take a guy that I don't know if all of you have heard of. I think he's a rookie. Yeah, Harrison Bryant.
The tight end.
Tight end from the Browns.
Austin Hooper.
Hooperton's obviously hurting him. But, I mean, look at the snap percentage. As for a rookie tight end, they love him because, I mean, again, he can block well. So he's
Yeah,
going to
he's
be on the
covered.
field more. And once Hooperton, deteriorates, or I don't even know, his contract's like 3 years. But
Yeah, he got paid.
yeah, but I think like over time, he's a great route runner, has good hands, can block well. I mean, he has all the tools to be a great tight end. It's just the opportunity. And I think over time, tight ends usually aren't good. And especially David Njoku's also eaten into that role, but I don't think he's in the future. So I think Harrison Bryant's a good long-term dynasty hold.
Okay, is it my turn?
No, it's fine.
Oh, oops, my bad.
I'm gonna take Colin Johnson, the wide receiver for the Jags.
He's actually he's had a couple good flashes.
He's had a couple flashes. He's gonna get Trevor once again. I was deciding between him and Tyler Johnson, the guy in the Bucks. But considering I'll take the younger quarterback, the worse offense, but the younger quarterback. So, I mean, with Trevor, we don't know how good that offense is going to be, but Colin Johnson has
6'6".
shown some flashes. Yeah, he has great size.
Also with
At
Tyler
this point,
Johnson,
just
though,
shooting for upside.
Chris Godwin Tyler Johnson kind of plays like Chris Godwin, and Chris Godwin is
Yeah.
on a contract year.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
he
That's
could
what I
be
was
the
thinking too.
replacement, especially with Tom
'Cause-
Brady. But for long term, you don't really know the quarterback situation. But I think he could be a staple in that offense once
Yeah.
Godwin leaves, or if he even leaves at all.
Okay, my turn now. I'm gonna take LaMichael P. Ryan. I mean, I don't know how good this dude really is, but I mean, he could start. With Frank Gore's probably retiring, which makes me kind of sad. But
No, he's not.
you don't think so?
No, Frank the Tank is coming for Emmett. What do you mean?
I mean, I want him to stay. He should come to the Niners. But I mean, this dude had like a couple good games, right?
Yeah, I don't like this pick at all. He's looked terrible.
He's
not-
awful.
He's
Whatever.
like his efficiency is awful as you can see, but
What's his yards per
But
carry?
I don't.
2.6.
Is that his fault though? He's playing for the Jets.
I mean,
I don't see a future. He's like a
yeah.
DJ Dallas, in my opinion.
yeah.
Like he's gonna get a little bit of opportunity, and then they're just gonna throw him away. All right, Jack, follow the infamous Jordan Love pick.
In the 3rd round.
I think that's a good pick.
Yeah, I don't hate that pick.
But my point is he's gonna be on the wire in all leagues.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you didn't need to waste a third on him. You could have
Yeah.
taken like Gabe
Well,
Davis or something.
I think it's a solid pick.
Okay.
Because Tyler, who are you gonna pick after instead of Keyshawn Vaughn?
After Keyshawn Vaughn, I was gonna take Donovan Peoples-Jones.
No. Instead of Keyshawn Vaughn.
No, I like Jordan Love there, but I was gonna take him in the 4th probably.
You're also
Well,
asking the Packer fan. So.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
what
you
the
know,
heck?
he's a good quarterback. I'm gonna go. I guess Lynn, maybe Lynn Bowden.
That's a good pick.
He's getting more targets recently, more reps. You know, I don't know how good he's gonna be, but
He's a gadget guy though.
Yeah, he reminds
Yeah.
me of LaVisca.
You
Because
love the
it's-
gadget
he's a little bit of a
guys.
gadget guy. Or Curtis Samuel. He's like a Curtis Samuel kind of guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's definitely a possibility they draft a receiver, and this dude's just.
Yeah, but
useless.
even if they do, they won't draft a receiver like Lynn Bowden. I think Lynn Bowden could have a role.
All right. I'm gonna proclaim in this hypothetical rookie draft that I do own Derrick Henry. So I'm gonna take Evans here. I think he's one of those guys you can't let him slip off the board. I think that'd be a shame. The other guys I was thinking about here was Bryant Edwards, just because of the talent in college. He hasn't flashed anything.
And Eno Benjamin.
No, I wasn't thinking about Eno Benjamin.
Brian Edwards really disappointed me, man.
Yeah, Bryant Edwards has been disappointing, but Evans has looked pretty good. He hasn't gotten many snaps, but he's behind Derrick Henry, so there's always a chance that he'll get the ball.
Yeah.
All right, thank you for checking in on our draft. Is there any more notes we got?
Just who do you guys think went too early and slipped?
I think Darnell Mooney slipped, and so did
Oh yeah, he only
James
slipped because
Robinson
they didn't know he
slipped.
was.
I
James
think that he definitely.
James Robinson slipped. Yeah, Sean got.
McFarland went too early. Jordan Love went too early.
Yeah, Jordan Love.
I like the Jordan Love pick. I think it's still a good pick.
I think
You
Gabe
can like
Davis
you
slipped.
can like it, but he went too early.
I think Gabe Davis slipped, but I think he's one of those guys that you know what you're. I don't think he's going to be the one ever.
You guys think?
Oh no.
I know, but he could be in like with
He could be like a
Stephon
red
Diggs and
zone
Josh
threat.
Allen.
Yeah.
You guys think I took Tua too early?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Tua
was
Jonathan
early,
Taylor.
I think
I would
Tua
agree.
should go 6th.
I would
behind
take
Taylor,
Taylor,
Jefferson,
and Lamb. Yeah, over Tua.
Brian, I froze. What did you say about Davis?
Gabe Davis?
Yeah, did you say he went early or late?
I said he went too late.
I
Oh,
think
he
what
went way too late.
I think
He
what
went
should have
way
happened.
too late.
I would have taken I would have taken Mooney around where Van Jefferson went, if not earlier, and I would have probably taken Davis where Mooney actually ended up going.
Yeah,
I would have taken Mooney instead of Mims.
No, I think they're in the same.
No.
I think they're in that same range
LaVisca-
though.
No, LaVisca didn't slip.
I think I'd take Mooney higher, but I think I'm biased from that regard in general because I have
I
him
think
on my
Mooney
team.
should go right after LaVisca, like right in that range.
Yeah,
Same with Gabe Davis.
and the thing about Mims is I feel like with Mooney, you don't know what the offense is going to be like. I feel like we kind of know what the Jets know they have Darnold. We don't know what Mooney's going to be dealing with.
And in this case with AJ Dillon, if Aaron Jones does resign, AJ Dillon just remains like a hold.
Yeah,
for-
and I think the thing is I think A.J. Dillon's a good pick regardless.
Yeah.
Yeah, AJ Dillon's a good hold.
Wait, I'm gonna give you guys just players that went above James Robinson, and like, if you guys would take him, that player Robinson. So like, would you take Higgins or Robinson? I think Higgins.
I'd take Higgins still.
Would you take Akers or Robinson?
I'd probably take Robinson.
I think that depends on my team.
If you're
If
winning
I'm-
now,
If I'm winning now, I'm taking Robinson. If my team's not that good, I'm taking Akers.
okay, are you taking Ayuk or Robinson?
Ayuk.
Yeah, Ayuk.
Are you taking Judy or Robinson?
I'd probably still take Judy. The upside of how good he could be.
I think that's
Definitely
another situation. I think the bottom line is when you're looking at rookie drafts, you really need to know your team. So if you're trying to win now, probably take the.
And
Wow.
and when you are doing the actual rookie draft, you'll know if the Broncos have another quarterback or if they have Drew Lock. So
Right, and that's another thing in general when you're looking at your dynasty draft. Make sure that if you're taking, I'm saying rookie draft, so you already have your team established. If your team's really established and you're doing really good, and you don't have one position of need, and you're just trying to win now, take a running back. They're always going to be better in the first year. I mean, there's exceptions, but I think that it's proven that running backs have way more production in the first year than wide receivers.
Normally, wide receivers, like a couple years ago, people would say, wait till their third year. So all these guys, like even the guys like Donovan Peoples-Jones and Antonio Gandy-Golden, you can't just write them off. Even like Tyler Johnson, who we didn't even draft in this mock draft. You can't just write him off after the first year because guys like Tyreek Hill and Devonte Adams will.
Look at Corey Davis. Took him 4 years. Now he's not like amazing.
Corey Davis sucks.
He's playing pretty
now.
good
He
this
just
year.
can't be a one on a team.
Corey Davis sucks.
He got 1,000 yards this year.
Okay, when a dumb team pays him a gigantic contract because they look at stats and he's
No.
terrible.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it took him 4 years. Now he's like serviceable receiver.
He's terrible.
He always had flashes, low key.
I don't think he's terrible.
He runs like Alshon Jeffrey. He's 26.
Okay, thank you guys for watching.
Yeah, thank you for
We'll
watching.
see you next time.